Hello again, everybody. Teddy Weeks with Jack McElwee on Pacer recap of baseball from last week. Since we've talked last week, Jack, the Pacers went 2-2. First off, they made a trip up to Mount Olive on last Friday.
Yep, and unfortunately they came away with only one victory, but that one victory was the third game, which I think helps propel them into the next series that they played. So instead of losing the last game, even though they lost a couple of heartbreakers there at the beginning, but they came on strong in the third game, and now they're ranked third
in the country.
In the
exactly
country.
Right.
So in that first game, we spotted them 9 runs in the first 2 innings. So 4 errors played a significant role in that loss as well. Connor Riley took the loss, and gave up 6 earned runs, 8 total runs. Hard to get yourself back from that. The game had 8 walks and 2 hit batsmen, so they just weren't really sharp in that game. But they made a pretty good comeback there near the end.
Yeah, you lose by 2 runs is not bad, but on Saturday they played a 1-0 loss. Joe Benitez was the pitcher. He struck out 15 batters from Mount Olive, and the Mount Olive pitcher struck out 11. And the lone run that Mount Olive scored was on a pass ball, and I think about the 6th inning. It was a real good pitcher's duel, and as Coach Thomas has alluded to several times this week, we could have won that game just like we could have won the game on Friday night. But when you get beat 1-0 in a pitching duel, you tip your hat to the other pitcher.
At the other Mount Olive only had 7 hits, but we could only muster 3. You're usually not going to win with only 3 hits. And then Game 3, though, was a really nice comeback, winning 9-6, featuring 14 hits and 4 home runs. 2 of them by your guy, Connor Durden, who you really like.
Connor Durden, he's one of our catchers, and I really like the way he swings the bat. And Coach Thomas is platooning him and the other 2 catchers, and he hits the right-handed pitchers and does real well. And he comes through, and he's an asset to us.
Well, he's hitting a blistering .545 and has 4 home runs on the season, second only to Zach Moon, who has 5. Yobi struggled, unfortunately, again, kind of at the start, and only went like 3 or 4 innings. What do you go? 5 innings, maybe, and gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits. But the bright side was
Doug Ard comes in and pitches. Doug Ard's a freshman on our baseball team. He's from Shiloh, South Carolina.
What's the name of that?
Shiloh.
Shiloh.
That's over there around Turbyville in that area. And his brother was on the team last year. He has a catcher, and he has done a good job. He's probably going to be one of our first people out of the bullpen every chance we get on that.
And one of the bright spots, though, for Yobi is he struck out 8. He just couldn't keep him off the base paths.
Well, he told me Monday when he got back, he said, I made 2 bad pitches. And if you know anything about baseball, that can happen. I mean, one pitch, it is what it is. But 1 and 2 is not bad. But and then on yesterday, we played our traditional long game with the Payne Lions.
3.5 hours, and it must have been a pain for the umpires out there.
It was a pain for the umpires and the people in the press box. And I asked the official scorer how many pitches were thrown yesterday. Over 380 pitches were thrown. So that's a lot to go on there. But what we did yesterday, Jack, Coach Thomas kind of mixed up his pitching. He wanted to throw some people who had not pitched some. He had to find out, like he mentioned before, fishing. He wanted to find out who could do what, and he did that. And you lose your continuity when you only pitch maybe 1 or 2 innings and things like that. But
hard to get into a rhythm.
Exactly.
When you're only out there for a few pitches and 1 inning, and you almost know you're only going to be out there 1 inning or so. And it was sort of a hit-a-rama out there. 29 runs on 28 hits for the Pacers. But a couple bright moments. There were 4 home runs by Price, Moon, Ammerman, and your namesake, Weeks.
The one Moon hit, I would imagine it went 500 feet if it went an inch. I mean, it was a moonshot, so to speak. And then Dalton Weeks, who's starting to swing a real good bat for us, got a hit. And Mitchell Price, with that quick swing he's got, he launched one out there, almost landed down here at the Family Y. So, we hit the ball good yesterday, and Coach Thomas started 4 or 5 people that normally wouldn't start.
And freshman Adam Hayne got his first appearance for the whole season. Got a little roughed up. Faced 8 hitters and gave up 5 earned runs. The young man's got a lot to learn playing college ball versus high school ball.
Yes, last year this time he was pitching at Fox Creek, and it's a different thing when you're going against college batters. And Adam's a good guy. He's got a good arm, and he'll get his chance down the road.
So what do you say we turn it over to Tony B and Kenny Thomas?
That's good.
Well, Coach, we are here just on the heels of another midweek victory for the Pacers. and you go into your conference opening weekend. Let's call it with some momentum.
Well, it's funny, Tony, because driving into work this morning, I got to thinking, wow, we start conference tomorrow. That's hard to believe. February is just about gone. And heck, March will be gone, April will be gone before we know it. But, it's hard to believe we are in conference, and we're sitting at 9-2 right now. Good win yesterday. I thought we was a little sloppy yesterday on the mound. I take responsibility for some of that. I was trying to run 9 different pitchers yesterday to give everybody a little look. I had 4 or 5 of those that I needed to get to work. Then I had 4 or 5 that I was fishing. You've been fishing before. Well, I was still fishing, trying to figure out who could help us as we go into conference here. So, rhythm kind of got out of whack there on the mound, and we just didn't pitch very well. And so I take a little responsibility of that, and I had to explode there at one point during the game to get us back in, which I don't like to do, but I had to do that to get us back going right. But we did win the game, and that was a good thing. And big conference series coming up, starting tomorrow, Friday at 5 o'clock, and Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 1 against Young Harris. And, it's like I told the guys last night after the game, if you want to win the conference, it starts Friday, and you better be ready to play because we know this conference.
Well, a game like Payne, let's just be honest, this is a program that doesn't necessarily have a winning tradition. You come off of a tough opponent that gave you all you could ask for this past weekend up at Mount Olive. Then you come in and know you're going to play Payne on Wednesday. It would seem to me, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it would seem to me that there's always that risk that you're going to go into that midweek game against a not-so-tough opponent with some complacency.
Well, and you can, and as a coaching staff, you got to be careful. I was straight up forward with the guys. Tuesday night after practice, I said, look, guys, we all know that Payne is, not at our level right now. And, we play them. It's a good cross the river little tradition here that we play each other. And, I think their coach is an outstanding person. I love that guy. And, so I try to help them by playing. And heck, we know the situation. But that doesn't matter. We have to play. We have to play. And if we're going to buy in to what our motto is, we play the same no matter who it is, no matter what the score is, no matter what inning it is. If we're 10 runs up, 10 runs down, first inning, last inning, it doesn't matter. If we're going to buy into that, and if we're going to buy into our other philosophy that it makes no difference who's across the field from us in the other dugout, we're going to play the same every day, then we shouldn't have a problem with this. But, again, I think maybe rotating the pitchers as much as I did yesterday threw us a little out of sync. Jamie Morgan went out there and pitched first inning, and he wasn't really good, but he might have went back to second inning, settled in, and gave us 3 or 4 more innings if we'd have stayed with him. So it was a weird game for sure. But it does, we won the game. It is a tough situation to do that. The rest of these midweek games are really tough opponents. I mean, we don't have anything left that's not tough. So,
well, what's the scouting on Young Harris?
Well, Young Harris is our newest member. Got into the conference a few years ago, and they got a good team, and they always play us tough. We didn't play them the last 2 years, so we've been on that rotation where you had some teams in the Peach Belt you don't play. So we hadn't played them in about 3 years, and they're going to be a very good team. They're going to play defense really well. They're going to pitch and very solid, as all Peach Belt teams are. I mean, you know how it is, Tony. You can be first place playing last place in this conference, and it's tough. I mean, and this year, kind of like I explained to the guys last night, because the coaches voted in to only play 8 weekends this year instead of 10. You don't have as much room here for for lackadaisical efforts or as much room for mistakes. You know, you only got 24 conference games this year instead of 30. Now, it's only a one-year deal because I voted against it, and heck, 2 weeks after we voted it in, everybody was wanting to change it back. But it was voted in 2 years ago, and it's a one-year deal. So you only got 24 games. So you can't sit here and expect to play catch-up halfway through. So you better be on your P's and Q's from the first moment on in the Peach Belt. So that starts tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock.
How has this team bounced back from a disappointing weekend at Mount Olive?
You know, we Don Staley and I have the same philosophy. It's a 24-hour rule. You know, we forget everything in 24 hours. That's our rule, and we're not thinking about what happened there. You know, look at it, man. We could have won all 3 games easily. Very easily could have won all 3. I learned a lot about our team up there at Mount Olive last weekend. You know, Miss Judy probably put it right. If those games were played at the Burt, we probably win them all. You know, and that's probably true. We get down 9-1 on Friday and then just come fighting back. And, you know, most teams would have tanked it. And we had a chance to win a game, get beat 12-10. Next day's a pitching duel. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, it's amazing. You know, there was 26 batters struck out. We struck out 11 times, and we struck out 15 of their batters. And they hit 1 less inning than we did. So we had 3 more outs than they did. So it was, but our guys, you know, fought hard. And Sunday, man, we played well and won the ball game. So we came out of there feeling okay. Obviously, we'd like to have won 1 or 2 more of those games. But I thought our guys bounced back well from it.
Well, you're in a good spot, 9-2 going into the conference opening weekend. It all starts tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. It's an hour later than was on the original schedule. 5 o'clock start tomorrow, and then you've got Saturday baseball and Sunday baseball, what looks like a beautiful weekend for baseball in February.
Man, the good Lord has really helped us. It's a nice, beautiful, beautiful weekend, and we need the fans out here. We all know about our target on our chest. You know, even after losing 2 out of 3, we moved up 2 spots in the poll this week. So we got a big target on our chest, and we got to play. So get out here, fans. We've had some great crowds so far, so hopefully have a big crowd tomorrow.
The beer helps.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does.
Let's just be honest.
There's beer sales on Friday and Saturdays
The
here
beer
at the
helps.
stadium.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah, so
I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. It doesn't hurt to have a cold beer sitting here on Friday
and peanuts
Saturday.
and popcorn. You know,
What? Let's just be honest. Good baseball, cold beer, peanuts and popcorn.
We like to kind of think our third nationally ranked third helps us a little bit. Maybe that cold Budweiser over there helps a little more. I don't know, but it don't matter. We need you out here. Let's get out here and let's help these guys. And we got a chance to do something special. It needs to start tomorrow. So
well, we will be here 4:30 airtime with Jack McElwee and me. Teddy Weeks has got the weekend off, but we will be out here tomorrow at 4:30 with the broadcast on KSX. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tony B. and Coach Thomas. Well, Jack, we got 3 big games starting tomorrow at 5 o'clock at the Burt. Young Harris comes to town.
Yes, and it's at 5 o'clock, not 4 o'clock, in case you have an old schedule that was out there. And the last time we played Young Harris was back in 2014, and we also start conference play with them tomorrow as well. We were 6-2 lifetime against the Cougars, but the last time we outscored them 20-9 in the last 2 games, which we won. So the Cougars are 3-8 this season, but like you always say, put a bat in somebody's hands.
He's dangerous. I mean, like that. I mean, it's a conference series, and you don't know what their philosophy has been either. They may have been trying to, find the right combination, but I can assure you when they get off that bus here tomorrow about 2 o'clock, they'll be ready to play at game time at 5. And the Pacers, I hope, are ready to play.
Who are they going to throw?
I would imagine he'll go with Connor Riley on Friday night, which he was been his Friday night starter. Connor's had a couple of good starts and then that one bad one. But, everybody, even Tom Seaver even had a bad one occasionally. And then Joe Benitez will probably pitch on Saturday. And on Sunday, I would imagine it'll be either Yobi or Jimmy Lynch. But based on what I think, it'll be Yobi. We've got 4 pretty good people down there that you can mix and match who can start or come in for long relief. But I would imagine, but I'm sure the bullpen will be tested with Aragon and Spence and Dolander in that crowd. So we all gonna have to be ready to play this weekend.
Well, I know Kenny Thomas will be looking to add to that 9-2 victory margin so far in the season, and so we'll be broadcasting Friday's game, Teddy.
Right, 4:30 on KSX.
Is a pregame show.
Pregame show, and then the game on that, and like what we're trying to build for, folks, we want to try to win this conference so we can take this dog and pony show on the road when we go to the conference tournament.
Speaking of being on the road, I'm going to have to do this solo with my sidekick, Tony B here. You're going to be out philandering around the Pacific Ocean somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it's not Pacific. I think it's the Atlantic, if I'm not mistaken.
Where are you going?
I'm going down to...
I thought you were going to Hawaii.
No.
Okay.
We're going to Puerto Rico.
Okay. Well...
Yeah, my wife, if I want to stay married, I got to go. So
that's very important.
Very important. But I'll leave it in great hands. And tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, I'll be on my app with KSX FM 927.com listening to my two favorite broadcasters doing the play-by-play.
It's in KSX927.com worldwide, planet-wide. In fact, we may have been streaming to those new 7 planets that they found here recently. So, and certainly can join us on 92.7 on your FM dial.
And Jack, we might want to bring this up. After this weekend, we have a big midweek game next week with North Greenville University, and they are loaded. I mean, they are coached by Landon Powell, who was an All-American at Carolina, played in the major leagues for 7 or 8 years. And then the next weekend we go down to Armstrong State, where it is the devil to play.
We have not had good luck against Armstrong State on the road at all.
The heat of the season's getting ready to get into it, and we encourage all fans to come out and at the Burt. And like you say, on Friday and Saturday, they have adult beverages. Come and enjoy yourself.
Well, we'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for joining us.